Okay, welcome back. I have now threaded the machine. It's very easy to thread. I always use a cone. So what I do is I run it under the felt just to kind of act as a guide so that the thread is lined up as it was intended originally, as it would normally have come off the spool. You can do it either way. It comes through this first guide and then to the front guide, then straight down through the thread, the discs, the thread discs for the tension, down and up, and then you hold the thread down while you pull up so that it goes up, and you pull it so that it hooks into the metal beneath. So if you, let's see, let me pull on this. So, well, it's, right now it's kind of up on tension because I did sew a few. So you see, you pull it so that it hooks under this plate and then stays in this check spring straight up through this guide, through the hole in the needle arm, straight down, and it actually goes on this side to the opening and then twists around, and then it comes through behind here into this thread guide, and then it goes from front to back. And I just put it on, typically between 3 and 4 is the perfect tension that I set it for, as they did originally. You can see I did it at the biggest thread, and you can see I use a different color on the back. So it's got perfect thread tension right now for a straight stitch. And I've got it on, I mean, it almost runs silently. It is so quiet. Let me put the needle down and turn. So you can see that is the longest stitch, which is on here. It's showing the number 4. And how this works is because it has a spring, because reverse is up and this is forward. That's what the F means. And so you've got the number 4 is the highest, and so if you screw on it clockwise, it starts moving up and making a shorter thread stitch length, or stitch length. So here, I'll show you. Let me turn it again. And this machine, I'm not even at half speed. It's a very fast machine. They're great motors, these Kenmores. And really, of that era, there is not a better machine than a Kenmore. So you can see the difference on the size of the stitch. It shrank considerably, and the tension is perfect. Even though they're different color threads, you cannot see the opposite color on the other side. So I've got gray on the bottom and cream on top. Now, and that F and that R, I believe, means forward and reverse, and that would be when you use the buttonholer. And how to do the buttons, because this does have an automatic buttonholer, it actually gives you the directions on how to do it on the lid of your accessories box. See, so it tells you exactly. So you put in the that presser foot that I showed you earlier. It shows you that's the balance for, so that the front and the back look identical. And so you just follow these steps and you'll make a perfect buttonhole. Okay. Now I've got the cam number 1 in, which is a regular zigzag, and I'm going to go ahead and move it all the way as wide as it'll go, which is 4. And I'm going to go ahead and leave it at 2. That's fine. And I'm going to turn the corner. I'm holding this camera which is my phone, in one hand. So I'm sorry for any too much jerking and moving. But look at that zigzag. I mean, it doesn't get better than that. That is absolute perfection. You do not see the cream on this side, and you don't see the gray on this side. I mean, it is perfect. It doesn't pull too much. Some machines, no matter what you do, they are going to, if you put it at the widest point, they're going to buckle. There's nothing you can do about it, even no matter how loose the tension. Then if you get it too loose, then it starts giving you the bird nest. Okay, I'm going to increase this to the red, which is for the buttonhole. So that should be a pretty good satin stitch. Oh, it looks like it could come a little closer together. Yeah, that's not close enough. So I'm going to close it in on that 0 a little bit more. That looks better. I'm going to show you this satin stitch. And this is at the widest point, and that's how fast this machine goes. So like I said, I haven't even been running it at half. And look at that satin stitch. I mean to tell you. And there's the other side. It's beautiful. And this machine does, you know, there's 7 discs, so there's 14 stitches completely that you have as options. So I'm going to go ahead and switch this out so you can see how to do it. What you do is you make sure the needle's up and you push this lever here, and then what that does is it releases this arm that follows the stitch pattern. And so when you do that, you see it comes out, and then you lift up. I'm going to try doing this in one hand. Okay, lift out the disc. The other side's not that pretty. It's a blind stitch, which is a utility stitch. I'd rather do a prettier stitch. Why don't we do 5? 5's a very pretty. Now you see there are 4 holes, but there's only 1 pin. So it just makes it so that it's easier for you. And so, of course, you've got to push that in to get it to seat. Wait a second. Let me get it. There we go. Oh, I just cannot do this one-handed. Let me try my other hand. There we go. I got it in with one hand, believe it or not. Okay. So now, probably going to want to keep the setting similar. Well, let's see. Yep, it looks like that's a good setting. Oh, let her rip. You can see how fast this machine will go. But still, I don't want to... Let's see, my thread is getting locked up back here. Sometimes it does that. How I tell as it came up. Sometimes when that happens, it can mess up your stitches. But it didn't. Look at that. Isn't that so pretty? And the other side is a different color. And it's perfect. I mean, this machine just, I mean, the moment you get it home, you need to put it into a, now I've just got it on a tray table. And it's still so solid. It runs so well because it's so well balanced. And look at that stitch. It's perfect. Just beautiful. You can tell I'm using a an embroidery thread on the top. That's why it's so nice and bright and shiny. I do a lot of embroidery. Okay, well, I think I'm at 10 minutes. It's time to say goodbye, and I know you're going to just love this machine as much as I do. Thank you for watching. Bye.